system has 5 functions. First one is muscle attachment. So the skeleton provides an anchor point for muscles to attach to. So an example would be that the human skeleton has a thumb, and the muscles around that allow you to grip different things like tennis rackets, javelins, whatever it might be. Secondly is protection. So parts of the skeleton provide protection for the vital organs. So and or a lot of the bones that give protection are what we call flat bones. So examples would be the cranium, which is the skull, the sternum, which is the breastbone, and the pelvis. And they provide the best protection because of their large surface area. Now, they're particularly useful in contact sports where to prevent injury. So, for example, football and rugby. So the cranium can prevent injury to the brain, the sternum can prevent injury to the heart, and the lungs are protected as well. And then the pelvis protects your reproductive organs and your bladder, things like that. Third function of the skeletal system is for movement. So the skeleton's joints allow the body to move. Muscles attach to bones at places where they can pull the bone in a given direction. So that's useful in all sporting activities, really. So an example would be that if a boxer was punching someone, the tricep, which is the muscle on the back of the upper arm, will contract to pull the bones in the forearm, they're called the radius and the ulna, away from the bone in the upper arm. So that's the humerus. So the skeleton's joints and the way the muscles connect to the skeleton allow that movement to be able to happen. Fourth function of the skeletal system is mineral storage. So it stores things like calcium and phosphorus in your bones, and these minerals are needed to make bones stronger as well. And the last function of the skeletal system is to produce blood cells. So that happens in the bone marrow, which is a fatty substance that you find in the long bones in your body. An example which would be your femur in your leg. So they produce, the bone marrow produces red blood cells, which help carry oxygen to working muscles, white blood cells, which help fight against infection, and also platelets, which help wounds heal, and that would include cuts, bruises, things like that. So obviously all 3 of those different types of blood cell have a sort of use within sport. So can you think of a mnemonic to help you remember the functions of the skeletal system? You can either come up with your own, or one that we like is Superstar Pele makes many passes. So that is to remember support, shape, protection, movement, mineral storage, and production of blood cells. Superstar Pele makes many passes. So bone marrow, just to remind you, makes red blood cells, which carry oxygen to working muscles, white blood cells, which fight against infection, and platelets to help wounds heal. Now there are 4 different types of bone. The first one is your long bone. So the humerus and the femur are good examples of long bones. And they're normally found in the limbs, and they're used a lot for movement, shape, blood cell production, and mineral storage. Second type of bone classification is the short bones. So the carpals and tarsals are examples of short bones. So those are the bones found in your feet and your hands. So short bones are found in the hands, and they help with shape and movement. Flat bones, some examples of those would be the scapula, the sternum, and the cranium. Now they're found near the vital organs, the really important organs, and they're mainly needed for protection. And the last classification of bone is what we call irregular bones, and the vertebrae are examples of irregular bones. And remember, the vertebrae are the different bones that make up your back, your spine. They're used for small movements and also for protection in the back, particularly of the spinal column. Which of the following is not a bone type? So irregular bones is, if you remember, bumpy bones is not, short bones and long bones are both types of bones, so bumpy bones. And just to remember, 4 types are short, long, flat, and irregular, the 4 types or classifications of bone. The different minerals that are stored in bones, if we remember, are calcium and phosphorus. And long bones are found in limbs. They are used for movement, shape, blood cell production, and mineral storage. Remember, the minerals in the bones are calcium and phosphorus. And what are the types of bone? So we've got long bone, short bone, irregular bones, and flat bones. That's the end of the